Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing really well. And this is your Champions League group stage match day 2 preview and predictions, and we got quite a few exciting games coming up, and that's all the Champions League is all about. Great games, and I'm here to talk about all of them. So before we get into all that amazing stuff though, please do like and share the video, and if you like my videos in general, please subscribe to the channel as well. Leave me your opinions about the games in the comments. Leave me your predictions mainly in the comments down below as well, and let's get into it. So starting off, we got Union Berlin take on Braga. Both teams with valiant efforts on match day 1, as both of them took Napoli and Real Madrid really close, but now they are facing off against each other. Now, if I watched the game, I thought Braga actually were quite impressive against Napoli, but Napoli, like I talked to my Thursday's video, haven't been the greatest. So I'll take with a pinch of salt, but Napoli still have a lot of quality and they've won the game. So I was impressed with how Braga played. I thought they played on the ball. They played a style that was on the front foot pretty much, compared to Union Berlin, who basically went to Madrid and just basically went full 11 men behind the ball. But Union Berlin, they are a dangerous team. They got quality and they got players who could hurt this Braga side for sure. Now, Braga and Union Berlin are old foes. They met in the Europa League last time around. Both won their games 1-0, I think, each. But I think this one's going to be a scrappy. I think both teams lack that genuine quality to get them over the line. But I think due to Union being at home, I think Union Berlin will look to sit in a low block. I think Braga is a sort of side that wouldn't mind having the ball. And I think Union will look to counter with like Sodatra Fofana, Becker. And I think this one's going to be a Union Berlin win, to be honest. I think Braga played well match day 1, but I just don't know why. I sense an Union Berlin win. I'm going to go 1-0 to Union Berlin. Moving over, we've got RB Salzburg taking on Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad gave a really good account of themselves on match day 1, as they drew at home to Inter. Realistically, they should have won the game. RB Salzburg, though, they went away to Benfica and won. Now, I watched RB Salzburg's game against Benfica. I was like, I don't think they played that well. Benfica were down to 10 for most of the game, and Benfica still were the best side. Benfica were really unlucky. They hit the post. So I would take Salzburg win away to Benfica with a lot of pinch of salt, you know. Compared to La Real, who are a very hyper-pressing team who like to make life difficult. They made life extremely difficult for Inter Milan. So I think this one's going to be a game where both teams are known for their pressing style of play. I think Real Sociedad are slightly more comfortable in possession than Salzburg are. So I think personally, Sociedad will have more of the ball. Likes of Taki Kubo and Co will have a big say personally. But in my opinion, I don't see a way Salzburg win this game. I think Sociedad are a better side than them. And I am going to go Salzburg 1, Real Sociedad 2. Moving over, we've got Inter take on Benfica. Big game for Benfica, in my opinion. For Inter as well, they're only on 1 point. So both teams need a result in this game. I thought Benfica were actually decent last night in their game against Porto. Now, in that game, Porto had a man sent off. They were actually quite good in the Champions League as well. So Benfica, look, they have lost Enzo. They lost Ramos. But I think the principles are still there. I think they got still a quality. Kuchku's there. The attacking areas, that clinical touch is not there quite. I watched them against Porto as well, and I was like, okay, they missed that clinical edge. Going back to the San Siro, where Benfica last time around did get a 3-3 draw, but this time around they won't have Antonio Silva as well, as he's suspended. I think Inter were poor. Inter have been poor against Sassuolo in the week. They lost. Let's see what they do this weekend. But overall, I'm looking at this game and I'll be like, I think this could go genuinely in many directions. It could. Inter could turn up and beat Benfica. Benfica could go to the San Siro and win. It could be a draw. In my opinion, though, I think Benfica will be the team that will be more control possession. I think Inter will be the side that will look to play on the counter, and they are very dangerous on the counter. But I think Inter at the moment are in a slightly better position compared to Benfica. I think Inter have a bit more confidence about them. I think they're playing well, except the last 3 matches. I think they have been absolutely brilliant in Serie A this year, and also in Europe. I think I am going to go with an Inter win as well, past record as well, considering this as well. And I don't think Benfica are the same side they were when they played last time around. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Inter. We've got PSV Eindhoven taking on Sevilla. Sevilla drew with Lens. PSV got thumped by Arsenal. Now, Sevilla, I watched them against Barca and they were actually quite good. They played a high line. Mendilibar, with his super intense press, are a good team. But the results haven't shown that yet, and I don't think the quality in that team is there. Now, Sergio Ramos, I thought, played really, really well, unlucky to score their own goal. Against PSV, PSV got teared apart by Arsenal. PSV tried to play possession-based football, and they got brutally exposed. And I think Sevilla could do something similar to them, because Sevilla are a team that likes to press, they make life difficult for you, and they have the ability to create lots of chances, and I think it's only a matter of time before Sevilla start to get results. I think PSV, look, they have some good players. Bakayoko, really like him, but the midfield still left to be a lot to be desired about. And I think PSV under Peter Bosz are just not that great. I don't think Peter Bosz, yeah, his principles are good, but his coaching in general just it reeks average to me. And I think it's going to be PSV Eindhoven 1, Sevilla 2. Moving over, we've got Copenhagen taking on Bayern Munich, and Bayern beating Manchester United on day 1. And they could have scored about 6 or 7. Against Copenhagen, who were unlucky not to win in Istanbul against Galatasaray. I think, though, come on, it's obvious. It's Bayern the big favourites here. Copenhagen, I think they'll be happy if they can give Bayern a game, or maybe nick a draw at best. But I think the likes of Kane, Musiala, Sane, they're all clicking into gear slowly but surely. Bayern will win this one 4-0. Moving over, we've got Manchester United taking on Galatasaray. Now, I would be quite confident that Galatasaray would give Manchester United a game before match day 1, but what's happened after match day 1? Galatasaray have been defensively very, very poor. They get exposed a lot defensively, and I don't really like how they play in general. I think they're too reliant on individuals to create moments. Manchester United, look, they have won their 2 games since then. They beat Burnley, and let's see how they do against Crystal Palace. I think Manchester United home against Galatasaray, I fancy Manchester United get the job done. I think Erik ten Hag is starting to figure a couple of things out. They played well in the cup. They played okay at Burnley, because Burnley I thought was the better team. But against a team like Galatasaray, it's super leaky defence. I just don't see a way that Manchester United don't win. I am going to go 2-0 to Manchester United. Moving over, we've got probably the game of the week. It is Napoli taking on Real Madrid. Napoli, their results have been quite okay to be fair. 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. But the way they're playing, I think it is going to be time that a bigger team will expose them. Especially Rudy Garcia's limitation as a coach. And now if I look at that Real Madrid team, they have not been playing super well. I think they've been relying on a Jude Bellingham winner most of the times. I think they need to find a way to be a bit more consistent. But going over to Napoli, I think Napoli way they play in that 4-3-3 shape, I think will give the likes of Tchouaméni, Camavinga, many players a lot of time on the ball. I think Napoli, they still try and figure out what's best for them under Rudy Garcia. Sometimes they play 4-2-3-1, sometimes they play 4-3-3. And I think Real Madrid are much more settled in their system than Napoli are. I think Napoli, Kvara, Osimhen, the controversies there. I just don't see a way Real Madrid don't win, to be honest. I think Napoli will be the team that have more possession, but I think Real Madrid are going to be clinical in the main moments. I'm going to go Napoli 1, Real Madrid 2. Moving on, we've got Lens taking on Arsenal. Arsenal are going to Lens with a bit of an injury crisis, aren't they? And could Lens get a surprise? I think there's a scope. Now, midweek, last time around, they went to Sevilla and they drew in their first Champions League game, and I thought they did well. I think they are starting to click into gear. They had to have a really poor start to the season, but now I think things are starting to click a bit more. They beat Strasbourg on Friday, so I think they can genuinely give Arsenal a really tough time, because Arsenal will be playing on Saturday, then they play on, I think it's Tuesday, so it's not going to be easy for Arsenal. Definitely no. I think Lens are a team that will be able, the home crowd will be up for it. I think Lens' crowd is very, very known for brutally good home support. Against an Arsenal team that is still young, that is still maturing, is their only second Champions League game for most of those players. So I genuinely think this is my surprise of the week. I think Lens will beat Arsenal 1-0. I think they're clicking into gear. I think Eli Wahi firing, and Eli Wahi firing is a very positive news for Lens. And I think Arsenal with the injury crisis, I just think Lens are going to win this one 1-0. Moving over to Wednesday's game, we got Atletico Madrid taking on Feyenoord. Arne Slot versus Diego Simeone. Oh boy. I like this one. I like this game. There's going to be loads of quality play. Atletico Madrid have been impressive. Look, they are defensively sound, but the football they're playing in the attacking half, that's more impressive to me. The third man runs, the way Simeone is using Griezmann. I've been impressed with Atletico. Feyenoord, I wasn't that impressed on match day 1 with them. I thought 45 minutes, 11v11. I thought Celtic were more than in this game. And I think Feyenoord are that sort of side that have loads of the ball, but I think they really rely on wide areas, putting crosses, cutbacks, and I think Atletico Madrid thrive on those things. And I think Atletico Madrid being at home, I think they'll sit in a slightly deeper block, allow Feyenoord to come into them, and then bam, hit them on the counter. And I think that's how this game's going to go. And I think Feyenoord lack that, what you call that clinical edge. I've seen them many times. Santi Menez is good, but I think they really lack that guy who can find a killer pass, and that's why I am going to go with Feyenoord 0, Atletico Madrid 2, or the opposite round. It's going to be Atletico Madrid 2, Feyenoord 0. Moving over, we've got Antwerp take on Shakhtar. Antwerp under Mark van Bommel got dumped by Barcelona against Shakhtar. Shakhtar lost to Porto as well, so realistically, whoever wins this game still has a hope. I think Antwerp are a better team if I look at the quality in their team. And I think Antwerp will be more confident with their result and everything. I think Shakhtar, they're not that good, honestly. I do not rate Shakhtar at the moment. I think Antwerp will control the game. I think Antwerp will have more chances. And I think Antwerp will win this game 2-0. Maybe a Arta Weerman goal. And another one is being... two Arta Weerman goals. Why not? Anyway, we got Crvena Zvezda taking on Young Boys. Crvena Zvezda, to be honest... I know they went 1-0 up in that first half, but the one thing I noticed by Crvena Zvezda was they actually wanted to play out from the back against Manchester City. It is brave, and it was madness. So I think they've got a bit more confidence about them than Young Boys did. I thought Young Boys also, they played well to be fair against Leipzig, but of course Leipzig and City's quality really got them through in this game. Now, Crvena Zvezda being at home, I think gives them an advantage. I think the Celta crowd will be absolutely up for it, and I think that could be the reason why I think this game might have a Crvena Zvezda win. But I think Young Boys are not as bad as many people think. I think this will be a evenly contested game, and I personally think it will be a 1-1 draw. I don't think neither team has really enough to go on and really dominate and win the game personally. Anyway, we move. We got Dortmund take on Milan, two teams who have been, underachieving, I would say. Now, Dortmund, they went top of the Bundesliga last night, but we all know those wins are very spooky at the moment. So I wouldn't take that as like full confidence now, like Dortmund are going to do it. And especially if you watch them against PSG just played them off the park like they were kids. If I talk about Milan though, Milan, yes, they haven't been the best in recent games, but they have been showing efficiency to get results. Well, to be honest, that's true for Dortmund as well. Even if they've not been playing well, they have been getting results. But I think Milan, they had the better, I think they've been playing better compared to Borussia Dortmund. I think Milan, their derby performance was awful. I thought they played well in the Champions League against Newcastle. I thought they were lucky to win against Hellas Verona. They beat Cagliari. They were quite good in Cagliari. Personally though, I think the Yellow Wall will be up for a European night. I think it's going to be a really tough outing for Milan. And I think Dortmund will know the importance of doing well in home games especially. So if Milan can actually get a result in this game, even a draw, I think it could be massive come the end of the group stage campaign. Because I think Milan always drop points at home to Newcastle. So ideally, they need to go to one of Newcastle, Dortmund and really win, to be honest, in my opinion. Dortmund, I think they got talent. I don't really rate Edin Terzic as a coach. If I had to do a comparison, Pioli, Terzic, and I think Pioli has limitations as a coach, but I think Pioli is a much better coach. But I think the Yellow Wall will get Dortmund fighting and up and running in this game. I think Dortmund will put a better performance than what most people think. And I personally see this one ending Dortmund 1, Milan 1. Moving over, we got the oil derby. Oh yeah. We got Qatar versus Saudi. We got Newcastle taking on PSG. So you got one team who have been picking themselves bit by bit, Newcastle. And you got PSG who have been playing very consistent way. I wouldn't say they've been playing bad or good, but I think they've been very consistent in what they want to do. They want to play a 4-3-3 with the defense midfielder really being a pseudo centre-back. You got the full-backs pushing up. You got the wingers being really narrow. Now, Luis Enrique did do this thing where the left-back was actually staying back and you had Vitinha holding the width. So, I like what I've seen from PSG, but going away to Tyneside, going away to Newcastle will not be easy. I think Manchester City can tell you a thing about that as well because they lost to Newcastle recently. But I know City plays the second team, but it will not be easy for PSG. I think Newcastle, this is the game they'll thrive in, where they are the ones chasing the ball. They'll be the ones that will be looking to hit the PSG team on the counter because that PSG team on counters will get exploited. Enrique system do tend to get exploited quite well on the counter. But PSG do have quality, of course they do. Mbappe, Dembele, Ramos, Colomwani, Asensio, that is a lot of quality. Personally though, I think this game is going to be about PSG. Of course, PSG are going to have more of the ball. It's going to be interesting if Manuel Ugarte, how big of influence Manuel Ugarte has in midfield. If Ugarte has a good game, I really think PSG will win this, because the way he covers ground and the way he moves the ball in simple ways but effective ways will be very, very crucial. For Newcastle though, I think the way they play, like they have played against the likes of course Manchester United and Liverpool and them in the past, I think will be crucial. But I think they have to find more of an identity on the ball as well. You can't just be relying on just hounding the opposition all the time and then you get the ball and then you try to play football. You need to be able to play in settled, calm patterns as well. But I think this game's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think PSG, look, they are improving bit by bit, but I think going into Newcastle will not be easy for them at all. And I think for Newcastle, I think a draw will be a good result in their first home game in the Champions League against the giant of PSG. We move, we've got Leipzig take on City, and this one is going to be fun. I think Leipzig have gone a bit under the radar. I think they have had a good start to the season. I think Marco Rose has figured out what he wants to do. Xavi Simons looks good. But it's Manchester City. Of course, Man City are big favourites. I think Man City will have more of the ball. And Leipzig will have to wait for their moments and carefully attack them. Now, I think if Leipzig want to top this group, so is a possibility, they have to win this game. They have to realistically win this game. And I don't think that's going to quite happen. I think City, they rotated a lot for the Carabao Cup last week, so I do think this week we might see a slightly more stronger team, the usual team, on a Saturday, on a Wednesday as well, personally. And I just think City are just going to be too strong for this RB Leipzig side. RB Leipzig improving, but I just think City are in a better place. Moving over, for score prediction, I think it will be RB Leipzig 1, City 2. Moving over, we got Porto take on Barcelona. I think this one's going to be interesting. Barcelona, I don't think have been that great if I look at their games. A lot of individual quality has been bailing them out a lot recently. Tactically, I think Sergio Conceição will be licking at that lips seeing that Barcelona team. They weren't great against Sevilla. They create more chances. Individual quality has a lot of say though, in my opinion, for Barcelona. And that's not really a good way to go in the long term. You need to have your system. Of course, the individual quality is great, but you need to have the framework for them to thrive. And I don't think at the moment Barcelona quite have that. Now, Barcelona, it's going to be interesting if Araujo is actually back for this game. He's a big part of that Barca defence. Porto, though, I think will look to concede possession to Barcelona. Barcelona will have to try and break this Porto defence down. I think the way Porto play could suit Barcelona. I think the individual quality will get them to the fore. I think European nights, they get more space, more time compared to La Liga. La Liga is teams do play a very effective low block. People just think Spanish football is all about beautiful football. That's not really the case. Spanish team do play a really mean low block. Just watch Cadiz. Oh my god, they have one of the most horrible low blocks ever. So I think Porto are a side that will look to come out in their moments, but I think they would like to slay slightly deeper, and I think they will look to give Barcelona the ball. And I think personally, I think Barcelona's quality will get them through this one, but I'm just talking about Barcelona in the longer term. If they want to have a really deep run into the Champions League, they need to have a better system in place. But I think their quality should be enough for Porto. To be honest, I'm going to go Porto 1, Barca 2. Moving to the final game of the group stage, it is Celtic against Lazio. I thought Celtic gave a pretty good account of themselves against Feyenoord. They played well for 45 minutes, but after that second half, they just absolutely imploded. Against Lazio, bit by bit, are improving. They won against Torino midweek. They got a draw against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League match they won, even though it was the goalkeeper Reem saved them. But I think this game is going to be interesting. I think this game, both teams will look to have spells in possession where they're going to look to create chances while the other ones sit back. I think this is going to be a very intriguing battle between Rodgers and Sarri. Both coaches like to play with possession. I think personally though, I think Lazio got a bit more quality compared to Celtic. And I just think it's going to be a really, really close game. I don't think it's going to be much in it, to be honest. But I think it's going to be Celtic 0, Lazio 1. I think Lazio just about starting to pick up form. And I think they play better against better teams. They beat Napoli. Now, I know they lost to Juve, but Juve actually do play a bit of a low block, which doesn't help Lazio. Basically, teams who press Lazio do tend to play better, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be 1-0 to Lazio. But anyway, this was my Champions League Match Day 2 preview and predictions. If you like the video, please do like and share the video. If you like my videos in general, please subscribe to the channel as well. And I hope to see you guys later for another video.